I'm Sasha, a mom of two here in Asheville, North Carolina, the traditional home of the Tsalagi Cherokee people. And today I'm going to share 3 quick tips on how to raise earth-honoring kids. When I say earth-honoring, I mean raising kids with animist values and relating consciously with our other than human kin. Okay, let's get started. Tip number 1, greet, attune, talk out loud, and listen to our other than human kin. I am teaching our kids that all of the life around us has spirit. So whether that is the mountains we live in, the rivers that we visit, the black bears that we see on walks, etc., all of these are sovereign people who have spirit, who deserve kindness and respect from us. So how this translates into our day-to-day is that when we are going for a walk or spending time in our backyard or visiting the French Broad River, for example, we take a minute to greet the one that we've come in contact with and attune to them and their energy. We greet the stone, the rock, the crow, whoever it is, and we spend a minute or two, or maybe even more, attuning to that one. My kids and I also talk out loud to our other than human kin, which actually looks a lot like talking to humans. We say, hello, how are you? We might share a bit about our day. And if it feels right, we also might make an offering. An offering can be something really simple. It could be, a couple of words of gratitude. It could be a piece of our lunch, or it could even be a song. Our kids love to offer songs up to our other than human kin. It's really normal for kids to want to pick every beautiful flower that they see or take every stone in the forest and put it in their pocket. But what we really talk about with our kids is asking for consent to pick that flower, to pick up that rock, to climb that tree, and then to really listen if that flower, rock, or tree really wants to be picked up, plucked, or climbed on. And we also teach them that sometimes the answer is no. Sometimes you're going to get a no, and that is absolutely okay. We respect the no. When our daughter had just turned 3, we were walking in our neighborhood, and she saw a big branch of a tree that had recently been cut down, and it was on the side of the road. And we were walking past it, and she stopped and she looked at it and she said, "Oh, Mama, this tree is sad." And she went up to the tree. She gave him a big hug for a long time and just stayed with the tree. And I thought that that was such a tender and sweet and totally natural and animist response to what had happened. Tip number 2, teaching kids how to invoke trusted powers. So inevitably, your kid is going to get scared somehow. They might be having nightmares, they might see something that they find scary in a book, or they could just be going through big life transitions, which is a lot of what childhood is about. And I think it's a really important skill to teach them how to call on support when they need it. Our family has a special relationship with white heron, who symbolize our ancestors on our mother's side. And so our daughter is frequently talking to Heron and her ancestors to come and be with her and ride out a time with her, whether she's feeling a little bit scared or maybe just a little bit nervous. She asks them to come into her space and she thanks them for being with her. Our daughter is currently in preschool, and since we find ourselves sending our daughter to preschool during a pandemic, we pray out loud to our ancestors and the spirits of land where we're at. We ask for our daughter and our family to be safe, as well as all of the children and their families in her class to be safe, her teachers, all of the administrators, the cleaning people, everyone who makes that school function. We pray for them out loud, again, to the spirits of land and our ancestors every single morning. And our daughter now asks for this. It's part of our morning routine. It's really sweet to hear her calling on support when she needs it. I also help this lesson be a little bit sticky by asking her how she feels once she's called on support. So if I'm there when she's feeling a little bit scared or nervous or something, I ask her, hey, does it feel good to call on our ancestors or Heron or someone else for support right now? Does that feel good to you? She usually will say yes, and then either she does that or, we can do it together. And then once that's done, I ask her, how are you feeling right now? And she's old enough now to say, oh, I feel more relaxed. Oh, I feel more calm. Oh, I feel better, mommy. And that's nice. It's good for her to draw that connection between getting the support that she needs wherever she wants it, and feeling more regulated and more relaxed. Invoking our trusted powers before we go to sleep is also a habit that we have. We usually thank our guides and our ancestors and the spirits of the land where we are for a nice day, grateful for everything that we have. And we usually do this in our ancestral language, which is Ilonggo. It's a Melanesian language that is indigenous to Southwest Philippines. And there is really magic in teaching your child an ancestral language. Even if it's just a couple of words to say at the end of the day, there's power in it. And I feel like it helps the child connect with the power in a deeper way. Tip number 3 is really teaching your kids to hold our other than human kin as sovereign people who have culture and homes and families and language just like us. We really go out of our way to personalize, get the message across that the crows, that the bears, the squirrels, the rabbits, the bobcats that we share our home with, as well as the rocks, the mountains, the rivers, these are all people who communicate with each other in special and distinct ways and truly have their own ancestors and their own culture and their own homes. So for example, when we go for walks in the morning, we see a ton of crows flying everywhere, and they're usually really chatty. And now even our daughter is asking me, hey mama, what are they talking about? What are they talking about their day? Sometimes when we're walking in our neighborhood, we see a mama bear and a cub or a couple of cubs. And I really go out of my way to say, wow, look, Rafi, that's a mommy and a baby just like you and me. And lately she's been responding with, yeah, mama, they love each other. They're family. And I just love that sense of intimacy that she can already intuit between the mom and the baby. And just knowing that, yes, this is their home. This is their family. They have a language that they speak to each other in. And they really are people in the true sense of the word. Also, I'm not an expert in the forest or, how all of these other than human kin are relating to one another. But the couple of things that I do know I share with our daughter, like for example, how oak trees have acorns, the acorns fall, and then the squirrels actually eat some acorns, they plant some acorns, etc. So again, I like to tease that out for her and say like, oh wow, do you notice how this oak tree has seeds that are acorns that fall to the ground? And then what happens to the acorns? The squirrels take them, and some of them they eat and some of them they don't eat. The squirrel and the oak tree are talking to each other and actually have a really complex system for relating with each other, which is really beautiful and is similar to how we relate. I hope that this was helpful for you, and please go ahead and comment down below any other earth honoring tips or animist habits that you do with your kids down below. Thanks for watching, and see you next week.